Hello and welcome to the latest instalment of the Rangers Women's Supporters Group podcast. The normal team has returned, Car's back this time, and obviously Alan's here as well. How are you both doing?
Yeah, good to be back. Took an extra long hiatus, just couldn't be bothered, so I'm back now. That's not true, I was away.
Alan?
I'm good. Looking forward to the season finally getting started properly on Sunday. Albeit I'm not overly happy at 1 o'clock kickoff, but gets us all home earlier.
Yeah, especially after a bit of a trip, but we'll come to that later. Car, we'll just go straight to you first because you were having an extra long holiday and we never got your thoughts on the new head coach, Leanne Crichton, coming in. So, what are your thoughts?
Initially, I wasn't overly ecstatic about it. I thought it was a bit of a safe move, if anything. Like, surely we interviewed somebody that had more experience, but I didn't know that much about her other than her being a City assistant and then being at Motherwell. She's an alright pundit. I don't really watch that many games out with Rangers that she's been involved in, so I've not really heard her that much, but other people seem to be pretty happy with the way that she is punditry-wise. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. If she wins things, I'll love her forever. That's the main thing. If she can come in, bring players in and get the job done, that's all I care about.
Yeah, that's the main thing. We had our final pre-season game, Alan, that Cara and I couldn't be at because we arranged these games when we're busy midweek. But you were there at the Sunderland game. Wasn't much really for us to talk about on our side of things because we did lose 4-0 and there was no highlights because there probably wasn't any. But talk us through what happened at the game.
We started with a very, very young team. Lots of people coming back from sort of layoffs and getting some minutes under our belt, and we came up against a really strong Sunderland team. We know the Championship down south is very physical, and to be honest, they did far too much for our young team. 4 goals we conceded in the first half were pretty poor goals to lose, but a very makeshift sort of back line with Casey McKenna playing at right back, Hayley Austin and Lily Boyce in the centre, and Lizzie Arnott at left back. So certainly not a back four we're going to see line up again this season. So tough going, but Lily Boyce really impressed me pre-season in the games against Middlesbrough and Sunderland. So we'll get on to the loan moves. A wee bit disappointing that she's moved out on loan, but obviously strengthened at half time, brought some of the first teamers on, and just couldn't quite break Sunderland down the second half. But fresh off the back of a really tough week in sort of warm weather training in Milan, it was probably good for the players to get a really solid test. I just would have maybe liked some more games in pre-season that were a wee bit more confidence building for a team.
Yeah, Car, overall it's not been a pre-season to build the confidence, clearly, because the results haven't went in our favour at all, really, other than the Middlesbrough game, which we had a few goals in. But it's always not about the results, it's minutes in the legs and all this kind of thing, but it's also been hampered because we've not had an actual head coach in place until the Sunderland game, really. So I think it was always going to be one of those pre-seasons that was going to be a bit up and down, and obviously the challenge of the Milan teams was always going to be difficult. But what's your what do you take out of the pre-season that we've just had?
It pretty much went as I expected it to be honest. Middlesbrough, I thought maybe it would be a little bit better, but it was good to get some goals under the belt and some minutes. That was more of the team that I probably expected, minus a lot of the young players that were playing, that we'd see throughout the season, whereas the Sunderland game was a lot more of the young team that we probably, well, we'll come on to that, we won't see a lot of this season play for Rangers. So yeah, it was as I expected. It's nice that we've got a head coach now. Hopefully we can get some signings in, hopefully some midfielders, because we have no one in the midfield anymore. We're very bare in that area, so hopefully we can get that sorted. But yeah, minutes in the legs, it's fitness, getting everyone back up to speed, and hopefully now Leanne can, whatever formation she's going to play them in, they can get that sorted for Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely. Alan, so the first couple of loans that were announced were Casey McKenna going back on loan to Spartan. She played there last year, and she's going to be joined by Natalie Bandura, who, for what I've seen, is a really promising young player. So that's obviously good that they're going to get. I think they'll get quite a lot of minutes. Casey got quite a lot of minutes last year with Spartan, so Spartan seem to be quite a good club for them to go to and get minutes across the season.
Yeah, and listen, Spartans have got to be quite disappointed they dropped into SWPL too, but with a wee bit more games in that league, I'd expect Spartans to have a very, very strong season. I'd expect them to be right up at the top of the league. So Casey McKenna obviously will be well settled there after being there last year, and that'll do a lot of good for Natalie Bandura going there with somebody that she'll obviously know, somebody that's been there for a year, and that'll hopefully help her settle. We had the first proper look at Natalie playing in pre-season, so very, very young, definitely needs some game time, but you can see there's a lot of promise here, so hopefully she'll do really well. See both of them do very well at Spartans.
Yep, definitely. A couple that have moved on that we had looked at last season and thought were quite promising. Kirsten Love and Abby Tobin have moved on. Kirsten Love moved to Hamilton permanently after a loan last year. Abby Tobin's moved to Aberdeen. Probably good moves for the both of them, but it's always disappointing to lose youngsters that you've kind of seen coming through and obviously move on to pastures new.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the Hamilton tweet and I was like, well, that's going to be Kirsten away then, just because they like to do weird, like, cryptic tweets. So I figured that one out pretty quickly. But I didn't realise that Abby had gone to Aberdeen. So that's gutting to hear that. I didn't realise that had happened. So it's a bit disappointing. We can't keep them all, but we seem to always lose the ones that really are promising and really up and coming and could really do a job for us. So it's a bit gutting that way, but they'll get loads of experience, lots of game time because they are really good players. So it's good for their career. But again, it's just annoying for us that we constantly lose these promising young players. But when our academy is as good as it is, we're always going to lose so many good young players.
Yeah, definitely. Alan, Sophie Black and Lily Boyce are away to Motherwell, another team that seem to enjoy taking their players on loan and doing a really good job of bringing them on, like they've done with Laura Berry. Lily Boyce, obviously, one you've mentioned that you're disappointed in going because she's had a good pre-season. Sophie Black, probably, I think she could have maybe stayed and got some minutes with us, or maybe just went out till maybe like January or whatever, but she's away for the full season. But again, it's going to be a good experience for them getting consistent game time, but as we keep saying, it is disappointing when you're seeing so many players go out when we seem so short.
Definitely, and Sophie Black played a couple of times for us at the start of last season before spending the season at Motherwell, and she certainly developed a lot at Motherwell. She got a lot of game time. She added some goals to her game, and as much as it certainly were quite light, I would have expected she could have stayed and contributed a wee bit. Just now, it's good that she's going to go somewhere again, like Casey McKenna at Spartan. She's been there for a year. She knows the setup. The coaching staff know her, and that'll be a very productive loan, I'm sure, for her. Lily Boyce, I'm surprised at because we're really short at the back right now, and it's a chance that she could have staked a claim for a place in the team and to stay around. I thought the performances she had in pre-season, were maturity beyond her years. She obviously had a very good 4 months on loan at Queen's Park, so she stepped up a level, got to Motherwell, and it'll be very interesting to see how both of them do at Motherwell.
The next one, Sophie Townsley, going on loan to Hamilton, because Hamilton's another one that likes to take her players. Sophie Townsley was obviously a forward attack player, so one that we don't really need, so it is obviously probably less surprising that she's went out, but again, another exciting young talent.
Yeah, I panicked a little bit when I saw their tweet. I was like, she's not leaving, is she? Like, I actually started to panic, like, oh, but no, it's just a loan, so that's fine. Like, yeah, that makes sense to me. We are pretty stacked up front. Well, we were, but we are still, technically. It depends how Leanne wants to play, but we are. So that makes sense, get some more game time, but she's an incredibly talented young player, so one that I'm hoping that we will see a lot of in the future. But yeah, a good loan move for her and for Hamilton.
Yep, and Alan Gartcairn, otherwise known as Rangers Women Football Club's young team, have quite a few of our players. Alba Stewart went on loan, Rebecca Simpsons went on loan, New MacArthur's went on loan, and then Summer Laird and Jess Linden have moved there permanently after. Summer Laird was on loan last season, so was Jess, but it's basically just your young team just going to Gartcairn.
Yeah, and they've also got Lucy Sherman in goal, so it's certainly Rangers Women B seem to be Gartcairn, but they've got a good setup at Gartcairn. You know, they'll be looking to push on and get a wee bit closer to promotion to SWPL 1, and quite local to me, so it'll be reasonably easy if kick-off times are kind to go and keep a wee eye on how Gartcairn are doing. But good setup there. There's plenty of people around about that the girls are going to know, so that'll certainly help him, and hopefully they'll have a really good season. I don't know too much about one or two of the players that went and loan to Gartcairn, but I'm sure we'll learn a wee bit more as they get some game time on loan.
Yeah, Alba Stewart, Rebecca Simpson are ones we've seen in the younger team's car, so they are obviously quite good in that as well, but we'll see how they get on, and we'll probably all need to go to Gartcairn at some point because they've got so many players, but we'll see how the season pans out. The big news from today, Maycraft has signed their first professional contract, 3 years. She's 15, so that's a good, nice long contract for her to stay in. Hopefully she stays because she is really good and she's a midfielder and we really need midfielders, so hopefully she doesn't go out on loan and we actually keep her.
No, I'd like to think the fact that she'd been given a professional contract that she is going to stay and she's going to be able to contribute. It makes sense that they sent so many other players out on loan that they would keep her around because she is an incredible player for her age. Just unbelievable how good she is on the ball. So if we can get use out of her this season, that would be great. And instead of sending her out on loan, it'd be fantastic. But yeah, great that she signed her first professional contract. I mean, at that age, it's incredible. I know other players have done it, but she must really be buzzing with that in her family. It really shows how good she is. The fact that she's been called up for England numerous times as well. She's just such a good young talent that I don't know if we'll keep her around for long, but hopefully we'll get a few seasons out of her and enjoy her while she's here.
Yeah, definitely, Alan. She's an exciting player, and I was just thinking when she'd signed it at the Dundee United game when we were sitting next to her family and how buzzing they were being because they're just obviously such a nice family after we'd spoke to them and whatnot. So really good family, and she's a fantastic player, isn't she?
Yeah, listen, we were very, very impressed when we seen her make that debut at Dundee United, and we'd have liked to see a wee bit more last year, but she did only turn 15 at the start of last season, so she certainly came in. She joined Rangers when she was 13. I learned that in the club's interview with her today, so she's went through the system very fast, and she's now got to be a full-time member of the first team squad. Although she'll probably miss games at times and be absent just due to the fact she's still got school work to do at 15. So really good that we've tied one of our most promising young players down. I really do think she's got a big future. The maturity she shows for a 15-year-old player. You saw her play 90 minutes at Hampden in the Scottish Cup semi-final, and that's brilliant to see at 15 years old, and the sky probably is a limit for Maycraft, and hopefully we see her realise a lot of that potential for us.
Yep, absolutely. So congratulations to her getting her contract, and we look forward to seeing her many, many more games in blue. We'll do the part we like to do at this time of year, Cara, season predictions, which I feel like it's a bit up in the air with the way the team is, but it's always a bit of fun for us to look back on. We'll start with how many trophies you think we're going to win this year.
I've never been right yet. I don't think any of us have, though, because we always say 3. So I'm going to say 1, and that people are going to hate me for this, but we're going to win the league. And I don't care if we don't win anything else. We're going to win the league. It's happening this year. We're not going to win anything else, and we're going to be awful in the cups. But we're throwing it back to when we actually did win the league, and that's what we were like. And we won it, and we were fantastic. So that's it, 1, and it's the big one.
The funniest thing is we haven't even discussed this, and that's exactly my thoughts. So I was writing my notes for this last night, and I was like, we're winning the league. We're not going to win the cups, but we are actually going to win the league. So if we're both right, then get the lottery on. We're winning something. But anyway, we're in the league. Alan?
I think we'll lift 2 trophies. I think we'll keep the Sky Sports Cup, and I think it's long overdue that we win the league. I'll say it every summer. We've got to go win the league. You know, anything less than win the league, just not good enough. Rangers, it might be a developing standard in the women's side, but it's still Rangers. Anything less than win the league simply isn't good enough. And certainly the squad needs some work. You know, it certainly needs reinforcements brought in, but I think even right now we've got a squad that we can put in 11 on the park that will challenge anybody.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the Sky Sports Cup's actually a jinx, so sorry, Alan, your birthday weekend might need to be ruined so that we can win the league and the Scottish Cup before winning 2 trophies. But
I actually believe the cup final is a week later this year, so
oh well, that's fine then.
not my weekend's going to ruin.
That's fine then. Well, it will ruin your weekend, just not your birthday weekend, but that's fine. Cara, top goal scorer, does anybody take it off Wilco?
Do you know, as much as you all probably think I'm going to say Laura Berry, and I would love to say Laura Berry, it's probably going to be Wilco again. She's going to play 90% of the game. She's going to score in 90% of them, so she's obviously going to get top goal scorer. I don't know if she'll score as many as last season though, but she'll probably win it.
Yeah, I think she's probably going to win it as well. Alan, any change from Wilco?
I'll go for Kirsty Howitt. You know, I think maybe just getting freed up in terms of the options. You know, she might play higher up a wee bit more often. We've obviously saw Real move on, so unless we bring somebody else in, it's going to jump the queue. Then just maybe Kirsty will score more than anybody else.
Interesting. Cara, a top assist for the season, even. It's difficult because there could be a player that comes in and absolutely tears up the league and does the assist.
Current crop, I want to say Mia Macaulay, because she just loves to ping a ball across the front of goal, and hopefully Wilco or Kirsty or Laura or someone's in front of goal to put it in the back of the net. So I'll say Mia Macaulay.
I'll go a bit different and say Brogan for that one because she doesn't score as much, but she's always getting the balls in and getting assists. So I'll go with wee Brogy Wogie. Alan?
You've actually stole my answer. I'm going to go for Brogan. Hopefully, however, we're going to play. We'll see our wingers get a wee bit further up the park. I think we've kind of cut the legs off Brogan and Mia and Lizzie a wee bit in the last couple of years with how much defensive work we've had to do playing wing back. But hopefully, if we can free them up a wee bit, we'll see a wee bit more productivity in the forward areas. So I'll go for Brogan.
Yeah, I think with the Anne Crichton's talking about the attack and vision and all this, I think we're definitely going to go back to the wing play, so that should be quite fun. That's fun part over. Back to serious business. We start the league on Sunday up at Montrose because we'll have a wee away day up north. 1 p.m. kick-off, not 2 p.m. like we all seem to think, and Alan's raging because he's not going to get sleep now. But we'll be there. Car's working, so won't be there. She's just really slacking at the start of the season already. It's ridiculous.
For the whole season, I think, if there's many 1 p.m. kickoffs.
It's at Links Park, and tickets are on sale. We'll put the links over our social media, so get your tickets if you can make it along. How do you think it's going to go, Alan? Probably quite a few goals, eh?
Yeah, I think everybody's been very confident. We've obviously launched a score predictor again, and everybody's hammering in expecting double figures. I think we've got a wee bit of settling into the season to do. I think we will win, but I think Montrose will make it a wee bit harder than some think. So I think we'll score a few goals. Hopefully, it'd be nice to start the season with a clean sheet as well. So we'll go 7-0.
Car, did you go double figures? Have you put your prediction in yet? Or
I haven't done it yet. I'm starting strong this year. I've just completely forgot that was a thing, so I'll do that straight after this. It's kind of it's not a new team, but it's a lot of differences in the team. Leanne, however she's going to set up, so I don't think it'll be our usual Montrose score, but I think it'll probably be at least 5, and I think we will keep a clean sheet. We're going to start strong, and we're going to keep a clean sheet, and it's going to be Jenna in goal, and she's going to do it.
all aboard the Jenna train.
Yeah.
I think I predicted in the predictor 10, but that was earlier, and it was probably a bit warm in that, so it could be totally wrong. But if it's right, then I'm a genius. But I think I was like, it's Montrose, it'll be 10. Although I did see some crazier ones than that, but yeah, I'll go in for 10. I think we're going to take a while to bed in, I suppose, but Wilco loves it up there, getting a few goals. Raph usually, she's injured, isn't she? So unless she makes a miraculous recovery, she won't get her Montrose
We'll be
goal.
suspended anyway after a red card against Glasgow City. So,
for the team, Alan, how do you think it's going to shape up? Is it just going to be pick names for a hat? See what sticks?
I don't think there's enough names to put in a hat, to be honest. At this moment in time, I would be very surprised if you've got a full quota of players on the bench. And that's not been dramatic, but we know Blair Eddy was missing last week. Camille Lafay was missing last week. So if they're not back fit, Kathy's been out for a while. No, she is training, so I don't think Telma's overly impressed in pre-season, so I expect Jenna to start in goals. You're looking a back. If we're going a back 3, you're probably Ailey risking Kathy and Nick. Or it'll be Ailey, Nick, and Fallon playing in one. Then really the team should pick itself because there's not really anybody else. I would be very disappointed if we don't bring in at least 2, if not 3 or 4 this week.
Yeah.
But
I think we need to, but it's still.
We're waiting. As we record this, we obviously expect one is pretty close, but that's just social media sleuthing. So
yeah. Car, what do you think of our team? Are we going like 2 at the back, 1 in the middle, and just the rest forwards up front?
Well, yeah, I think I texted you at one point that we might have to just have 1 in the middle, 2 wingers, and then everyone else just up front, and we'll just figure it out. It'll be fine. Maybe Telma can play as like a defender or something, and then we can just
stick her up front. She'll score.
That might work. And we'll put like Mia in the 10 or something, have like Lizzie and Brogan on the wings, and then everyone else can just be in front of them, and it'll be fine. I don't know. Most of the team will pick itself, as Alan says, purely just because we don't have a lot of players in each position. So, or like due to suspension and injury, like we're kind of struggling there. But yeah, I assume we'll see the new players, the new young players that have come in, because we don't really have many other options, which, kind of baptism of fire, but it is only Montrose, so in theory they should be fine. But yeah, it'll take a while for everyone to bed in and figure it out together, but it might just be a couple of games of you have to play because we've got no one else, so be good.
Yeah, there's a bit of a baptism with fire for Leanne going in with half a squad fit, half a squad injured, but I suppose that's going to test her mettle of her managerial career starting as a head coach. But yeah, we should be fine, but it's a bit of a tricky start in terms of about half the team. But hopefully we get an update soon. Hopefully that changes a bit and we actually get injury updates this season, but we'll not hold our breath. So yeah, season kicks off this weekend. Hopefully a nice start with loads of goals and a clean sheet. That's what we all dream of for a Rangers team. But we'll see. He's there if he's going. Obviously, Car's working, so we'll just need to keep her updated throughout the game. I don't know if Montrose will be showing it on Montrose TV, just like they sometimes do. Not seen anything, but if it is, we'll stick it up on social media. So thanks for joining me, Alan and Car. We'll leave it there.
Thanks, Laura. It was good to be back on.
Yep. Back into the swing of it, second, third year. third year doing this.
Yeah, third year of doing this. We must be mental. Surely we're going to win the league one of these years. Come on.
Third year, lucky.
Third time lucky. Here we go. All aboard the Leanne Crichton train. Speak to you next time. Bye.